Welcome to our defense briefing show today. We kick off with a dramatic rescue operation in the Red Sea where 4 brave survivors, including a security guard, were pulled from the water after their Greek cargo ship was attacked by drones and rockets. This incident, the second of its kind this week, highlights the ongoing tensions in the region and the risky nature of maritime shipping amid conflicts involving the Houthis, who claim they're targeting vessels violating their bans. Next, we turn to Ukraine, where the war's impact on children is heartbreaking. Kids living near the front lines, like Varvara Tupkalenko's sons, are exploring abandoned trenches instead of playing, carrying invisible scars like anxiety and depression. Despite some efforts to return home, ongoing fighting and landmines keep children vulnerable to long-term emotional and physical harm, risking a lost generation. Finally, in Kyiv, the city is under attack once again as Russian airstrikes cause casualties and widespread destruction. The recent escalation involves more drone and missile strikes, forcing residents to seek safety in basements. The international community responds with increased support, including advanced missile systems, to strengthen Ukraine's defenses. Please continue to watch for more details. According to the Sterling Broadcasting Corporation, the Red Sea has become a perilous battleground as Houthi rebels, backed by Iran, sank the Greek cargo ship Eternity Sea, leaving a harrowing aftermath of survival and uncertainty. Rescuers pulled 4 survivors, 3 crew members, and a security guard after they endured nearly 48 hours adrift in the water, a testament to their resilience amid chaos. The attack, which involved sea drones and rocket-propelled grenades, marked a significant escalation in months of maritime violence that has disrupted global trade routes, especially as the vessel was en route from Somalia to Jeddah with aid supplies. The Houthis, accused of kidnapping crew and violating a long-standing ban on transporting goods related to Israel, have intensified their campaign, with the leader of the group reaffirming the blockade and claiming the recent attacks as justified responses. The incident has caused insurance costs to soar and reduced the number of ships passing through the vital Bab el-Mandab Strait, plunging the region into a state of heightened danger and economic instability, with many ships now wary of the risks posed by ongoing hostilities and the threat of further attacks. CBC reports vividly depict the devastating impact of the ongoing Ukraine conflict on the youngest victims in Kalinov, a village scarred by war just 15 kilometers from the Russian border. Once innocent children, like Varvara Tupkalenko's sons, now find their childhood overshadowed by violence, playing with toy guns amid abandoned trenches and remnants of war, their innocence replaced by the harsh realities of conflict. The war's invisible wounds, anxiety, fear, depression, and developmental delays threaten to create a lost generation, with children growing up deprived of normal opportunities amid constant danger from shelling, drone strikes, and landmines. The Tupkalenko boys, now the last children in their village, navigate a landscape riddled with unexploded ordnance, their play often interrupted by the remnants of war, and their lives punctuated by the trauma of losing their father in combat. Forced to flee to the safety of Kharkiv during intense fighting, they yearn for the freedom to play and explore that war has stolen from them. While the community grapples with ongoing threats and destruction, the psychological scars run deep. Children like Andriy and Maxim, who have never attended school due to disrupted education and internet-based remote learning, grapple with grief, anger, and a sense of injustice, their emotional development hampered by the horrors they have endured. Psychologists warn that such trauma can have long-lasting effects, dulling children's ability to empathize and recognize pain in others, thus threatening to shape a generation marked by loss, anger, and unfulfilled potential. Deutsche Welle reports that Kyiv is under relentless assault as Russia escalates its aerial bombardments, with at least 2 civilians killed and widespread destruction across the city. The recent attacks, characterized by a surge in drone and missile strikes, have plunged the Ukrainian capital into chaos, forcing residents into basements and hallways for safety. The escalation comes amidst Russia's increased drone production and record-breaking weekly strikes, prompting the U.S. to pledge more military aid, including Patriot missile systems, to bolster Kyiv's defenses in this ongoing and deadly conflict. Yahoo US details the grassroots resistance in Cascade, Washington County, where locals are fiercely opposing a proposed Dollar General market. The community, proud of its rural charm and historic integrity, has raised over $16,000 to fund the legal challenges against the development, which they argue conflicts with zoning laws and threatens their community's character. The proposed store's design and location near a decommissioned army base have sparked legal battles, with courts repeatedly scrutinizing whether the project complies with local zoning standards. Community members emphasize their desire to preserve Cascade's unique identity amid ongoing legal disputes and fundraising efforts. The City Morning Herald covers the UK stance on the US-led AUKUS submarine pact amidst recent US reviews. British advisor Sir Stephen Lovegrove dismisses concerns that Donald Trump might impose new conditions on Australia's deployment of submarines, reaffirming the UK's confidence in the agreement. Despite a US Pentagon review led by Elbridge Colby, which has raised questions about Australia's commitments and the future of the deal, Lovegrove remains optimistic about AUKUS's longevity. He highlights ongoing progress, such as the development of a new submarine base in Fremantle and advancements in autonomous underwater vehicles, asserting that the alliance's core objectives and support from key U.S. institutions remain strong despite political uncertainties. The Foreign Policy piece from Foreign Policy magazine explores the current postmodern state of U.S. Iran policy, highlighting how narratives and political narratives have overshadowed factual analysis. The debate over the damage to Iran's nuclear sites exemplifies this trend. Initial claims of total destruction by President Trump were contradicted by intelligence leaks, suggesting only minor setbacks. The article underscores how policymakers and analysts often cling to preferred stories rather than objective facts, leading to fractured realities that hinder coherent strategy. This narrative-driven approach, rooted in political convenience, prevents meaningful debate and consensus, risking policies misaligned with actual threats. The author laments the decline of nuanced, fact-based discussion that once characterized serious foreign policy discourse, warning that persistent reliance on competing stories erodes the U.S.'s ability to effectively address complex international challenges. CBC reports on the decline of cross-border travel between Canada and the U.S., emphasizing how geopolitical tensions and trade disputes have chilled bilateral relations. Data shows U.S. visitors to Canada fell by over 10% in June, with American trips by car dropping significantly, especially around key holidays like July 4th. Conversely, Canadian visits to the U.S. have plummeted even more sharply, with a 22% decline in air travel and a 33% decrease in auto crossings. The article attributes these shifts to political uncertainty, tariffs, and a sense of unwelcomeness among U.S. travelers, particularly in regions like Niagara Falls, where American tourism historically forms a vital part of the economy. Despite the downturn, some foreign visitors from Europe, Asia, and Latin America are increasing their visits to Canada, possibly seeking alternatives amid U.S. apprehensions. Experts suggest that improving diplomatic relations and addressing visitor concerns could help restore tourism flows, underscoring the deep economic and cultural ties strained by recent political tensions. The Globe and Mail features a heartfelt story about Prince Edward Island's lobster fishery, illustrating how tradition and family bonds sustain this vital industry. The narrative traces the history of lobster fishing on PEI, emphasizing multi-generational involvement, from Charlie McGill Keegan's childhood outings with his father to his own role as a seasoned fisherman passing on the craft to his children. The story vividly depicts daily routines, community rituals like boat blessings, and the enduring cultural significance of the fishery, which dates back centuries, including among indigenous Mi'kmaq communities. Despite modern challenges such as conservation measures, trade tariffs, and climate change, the industry remains rooted in tradition, with families like the Houthis exemplifying resilience and passion. The piece celebrates the deep connection between islanders and the water, highlighting how these enduring customs foster community cohesion and ensure that the legacy of PEI's lobster industry continues into future generations. The Associated Press reports that Michigan State University professor Josh Cowan has entered the highly competitive Democratic primary for Michigan's 7th congressional district, a seat recently flipped by Republican Tom Barrett in 2024. Cowan, an education policy expert known for his opposition to school vouchers, cited federal layoffs and cuts to research funding and Medicaid as motivating factors for his campaign. He strongly opposes Betsy DeVos's push for school vouchers, which he considers harmful and benefiting only a privileged few, emphasizing the importance of investing in essential services that communities rely on. Cowan's entry into the race follows campaigns by other Democrats like Bridget Brink and Matt Masdam, intensifying the contest to challenge Barrett, an Army veteran who secured the seat last year with a narrow 3.7-point victory after Democrat Elisa Slotkin vacated it to run for Senate. Barrett's recent fundraising success, totaling $2 million, underscores the district's significance in the ongoing battle for control of the House, which remains closely divided. Yahoo US highlights that Cowan's announcement adds to a crowded field of Democratic contenders vying to unseat Barrett in Michigan's battleground district, which includes Lansing and surrounding rural areas. Cowan's opposition to cuts in federal services and his advocacy against school vouchers, championed by figures like Betsy DeVos, reflect broader debates over education policy and resource allocation. His stance against privatization and emphasis on safeguarding public services resonate with voters concerned about disinvestment and inequality. The race is further complicated by the recent campaign launches of other Democrats, signaling a fierce contest ahead. Barrett's victory last year, aided by his military background, helped Republicans maintain their slim majority in the House, making this district a crucial focal point in the upcoming elections.
Thank you for tuning in.
The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6DO team.
These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6DO Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6DO team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6DO Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6DO Brief via email.
Scrolling through the headlines, another crazy day. 6 degrees of stories, connecting in their way. From the weather to the sports, and everything we see. People making news on TV screens for free. 6 degree world, where the news comes in a whirl. Every story ties together like a ribbon in a twirl. Sit back and watch it all. Big and small they call countryside. We're connected after all. A laugh, a cry, a sigh. News is flying high. From city lights to countryside, we're connected after all. A laugh, a cry.